On behalf of Regeneron and the county executive, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have so many Westchester Regeneron Science Talent Search scholars this year. I am going to MC our program today. We will hear from George Yancopoulos, who is our president, co-founder, and chief scientific officer here at Regeneron, about a little bit about the company and why we sponsor this incredible program. And then we'll hear from the county executive, who we're so thrilled is able to recognize you all today. And then we will call up all of our students, teachers, principals who are here to receive some recognition and awards. So it should be a fun but short program. And with that, let me ask Dr. George Yancopoulos to join us.
It's great to be here in the presence of the future scientists of America and all you guys who are going to really make a difference in the world. I did want to tell you a little bit about why we are so excited to be hosting you guys and what it means to us, and also, like Hala said, how we got here. So first of all, I do want to say that it all, I think, really starts, of course, with all the parents who really, we know that, kids usually don't do it in a vacuum if they don't have all the support and all the effort, and parents who are driving around and making sure they have the opportunity. They don't get anywhere. But it also, most importantly, depends on the teachers. And the reason we're here, first and foremost, is because we were approached by teachers. Most notably, I just have to call them out because they were there more than 20 years ago to convince us to get involved, to give back. Of course, we believe in science education. We believe in trying to do whatever we can to inspire the next generation of science heroes, because we need them and the world needs them. But sometimes it's hard to be pushed into action. You do need that push. And it was really Michael Bluglass from Yorktown High School and Angelo Piccirillo from OSNIG who really, and I know you guys all know them, who really gave us that push to help with trying to mentor some students, trying to give a little to support the WESF programs, and then ultimately got us into the whole STS program. And of course, we couldn't be more thrilled. We've already had, unbelievably, this whole started our whole intern program at Regeneron. We host about 500 interns now, sort of indirectly as a result of being spurred to take on these sort of efforts. And we've already had people who start out here as interns who are now senior vice presidents. Blows my mind. That this thing actually works. It's a feeder program for us. So I'm fully expecting some of you guys to come and, take my job in a few years. But I also want to note, how incredible all of you guys are. And I hope you guys all know it. But just in case you don't, and maybe some of the parents don't or whatever, but you guys all appreciate that you have just become what they call scholars or semifinalists in the longest running, most premier, most highly acknowledged scientific competition for high school students in the world. You guys all realize that? Okay. And who knows how long this program has been going? Does anybody know how long this program is going? Any of the students? Nobody? Do you think it's been going for 10 years? Raise your hands. Okay, all right, fine. It's okay, almost 80 years, almost 80 years. I think this is the 78th annual Science Talent Search. It was originally sponsored by a company that was a premier company back in the day, which was called Westinghouse, okay, and then it was taken on by Intel, and it's been the last few years that we stepped up to take on the sponsorship. We're very proud of it, and we hope we're going to be associated for at least the next 150 years, if not longer. And in case you don't know this, this program has actually been an incredible identifier talent, of scientific talent. So from this program that's been, running for about 78 years, as you heard, it's produced 13 Nobel Prize winners. Those are, it takes probably about, you got to be at least 30 years out of high school to win your Nobel Prize. So that's almost only from the first 35 years of the program. So if you think about it, that means that your odds, the odds are that about half, that there's one kid among these 370 finalists who's going to win a Nobel Prize. Not bad odds, guys. Okay, and the other people who don't win the Nobel Prizes end up, most of them actually doing pretty well. I mean, obviously most go on at least to esteemed and respected careers, many of them outside of the sciences, but it's a good, I hope most of you go to the sciences because we don't want brain drain out of the sciences. I mean, you guys clearly have the talent and the ability, you can make a difference, and many, many of the kids who become scholars have gone on, the vast majority of them, to make very important contributions to the world. As I said, Nobel Prize winners, then there's the next set. The top 1,000 scientists in the country get elected to what's called the National Academy of Sciences, and there's literally been hundreds from this program who enter into that esteemed group of the top 1,000 scientists in the countries. Others go on, even if they're not recognized for that, to make great inventions, discoveries. Some of them even get involved in founding biotechnology companies. So I speak to you guys not only as an admirer, but somebody who is actually in this program, in case you guys don't know it. So I was also a semifinalist or a scholar back in the 70s when it was the Westinghouse Science Talent Project. And unbelievably enough, my longtime partner here for 30 years and co-founder of Regeneron, Len Schleifer, he was also a Westinghouse semifinalist 30 years ago. And, when you put two of these scholars together, first of all, they fight all the time. But secondly, they can build companies that can really make a difference. We think that, we're pretty proud of the fact that we use science every day here. In fact, I'm delaying a science lab meeting that I was supposed to be at just to present, just to be here with you guys, and then I'm going to go back to that. And what we do is we invent new treatments. We've invented new treatments. The leading cause of treatment for blindness is called Eylea, a drug we invented here. The leading drug for allergic diseases and atopic dermatitis, dupilumab, was invented here. In fact, a very exciting new drug for cancer that was just approved by the FDA a couple of months ago, all invented here, all coming from our own science, and we're pretty excited about it. And I just thought I would end by sharing an unbelievable and amazing story about how everything is interconnected and intertwined, and just like I said, just like some of the first interns we have at Regeneron now are making important contributions here as senior vice presidents, also how things are closed loop and interconnected. So when I participated in the Westinghouse Science Talent Search back in the 70s, 1976 it was, I was, back then, scholars were called semifinalists. I was in the top 300 semifinalists. I should mention, Len was also a few years, I think, Tom, did you tell me he was in the first one back in, that's a little dig at Len. He's not actually quite that old. He was just a couple years ahead of me. But anyway, Len did not make it to the next stage. That's why he's in charge of the business. I did make it to final stage. That's why I'm in charge of the science. Anyway, and if any of you, and I think that you got to understand, it is a lot of luck. For those of you who make it to that next stage, congratulations. If you don't, I mean, it's like picking amongst superstars, who's better, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, that's how it's going to be, picking amongst, you guys. So don't feel bad if you don't make it. It doesn't mean that in the end, you won't hold, the scoring record or whatever. But in any case, I did go to the next stage. And I got to meet the people. We sponsor the program, but we got to meet the people who actually run the program, including the person who was the head of the whole program at the Science Talent Search. The person in charge now, you'll meet her if you go down to Washington, is Maya at Jumeirah. In any case, I met her counterpart back in 1976. And when we took over the sponsorship of this event, about, when was it, Hala? 3 years ago? When we took it over 3 years ago, we had our first event where we honored all the winners and the finalists. And unbelievably, the person who was the CEO of the Science Talent Search back in 1976, when I participated, who is now 90 years old, had to come to the event. Anybody want to guess why they had to come to the event? Never guess. Okay, because they... Good guess. There was somebody there who came, who had been a prior winner, okay, and he came because his grandson was in it, which is another amazing story, how these things are all interconnected. So that is another great story. So how sometimes, I guess, genius might run in families. That might bode well for you parents, right? Your kids are geniuses, maybe it reflects well on you. But this guy showed up. Why? Because unbelievably enough, he was going blind, and he took a drug that I co-invented, which ended up saving his vision. And he couldn't believe that a kid who was at the time a Westinghouse scholar, now a Regeneron scholar, actually came up with a new medicine that saved him from going blind. So this is the challenge now to all of you guys, okay? I'm that guy, okay? I'm counting on you guys. So in about 30 years or so, one of you guys better come up with something that saves something that's going wrong with me, because something will. So I congratulate you guys. I got to tell you guys that we do expect a lot of you guys. We do this because we really believe in identifying and rewarding and pointing out how amazing you guys are, because people should be recognized for being scientific superstars, at any point in their lives, and in high school is when it starts. And this could be the beginning of you guys changing the world. And that's what we're counting on, that you guys are going to use your talents and your smarts and your hard drive and your hard work to really make a difference and change the world. So it begins now, this recognition. Enjoy it for a while, and then get back to work, get in the labs, and devote your lives to saving the world. So thank you very much. I got to go back to a science meeting, but enjoy the festivities, and congratulations, and good luck for the next stage.
Thank you so much, George. Now I'd like to welcome the other George, who has joined us today and is going to talk to us a little bit about what this recognition means.
Well, good afternoon. The other George is George Latimer, and I'm Westchester County Executive. And I must say I'm humbled to be at a podium to follow Dr. George Yancopoulos and to have met with Dr. Len Schleifer. These are men of great brilliance and great fortitude to be able to create something basically from scratch that has become this fabulous company. And all of the people that are here that work with this organization have a tremendous sense of mission. And that's what I guess we all hope to find in our lives, whatever our talents may be. When I was in high school, I was pretty good at the social sciences and pretty bad at the hard sciences. And like many people, I would, barely make it through chemistry and biology and calculus and intermediate algebra, trig. And then we could sit and just sort of BS all day in history and English and read a poem and have an opinion, and then go into science class and have to know hard facts and be able to understand how those facts connected. So the fact that the young people in this room have shown their love for science, not just to be able to sit through a standardized class and perform well on a standardized test, but that you love whatever that element of science that it is, to the point where you see your life and your career being in that area, to pick up on the back end of what Dr. Yancopoulos just said. The world needs you. The world needs that creativity, and not only because I'm a little older already, so I don't know if I got 30 years to wait until you find something, but also because this is the energy that makes the world go forward, to find new things, to discover new things, and that those new things expand the human experience. Any of us of a certain age can, and probably your parents or probably even your grandparents, talk about what it was like before, pick a topic, the internet, before social media, before cell phones, before a host of things. In my generation, we would listen to our parents talk about what it was like before television, and they grew up on radio, and my grandparents didn't even have that. But the human condition is advanced by people who can see things that the rest of us can't see, and that somehow through the structure of your drive and your determination and through organizations that are created and businesses, profitable businesses, that the human experience advances. We have 27 scholars here today, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if you're semifinalists and fighting for a final. You're a winner in my way of looking at things. And I was told just before I had a chance to come up here by George. And by the way, isn't it refreshing to know that you have people of talent and skill like George Yancopoulos and Len Schleifer, and they're Len and they're George. They don't need to put on airs. They don't need to rub their PhD in your face. They have a warmth of spirit, and that is something that we should all emulate. Certainly those in my world of public office ought to do a hell of a lot more of that. But going back to the basic situation, that we went in Westchester County for many, many years with one or two individuals that have reached a level of accomplishment to be into this, this program at the very highest of levels. And now we have this year 27. A year ago we had 22. And that speaks to the individuals, the individuals, but it also speaks to your teachers and your parents, that the climate for learning is there, the encouragement is there, and that those who are teaching in each of these different high schools, and I think we've got, 14 high schools represented here, which is important as well. It's not one particular program that has this outstanding, experience. It's spread out over a lot of different parts of this county. And I don't take any county credit because we happen to share the same geography, but the only credit I take is knowing what the value not only of science is, but what the value of education is. And as we have undervalued science in the world, so have we undervalued education. We do not pay our teachers enough. We do not respect them for the professionalism that they bring to the table. They help young people be able to realize the best in themselves. And we certainly appreciate what happens on Wall Street, the ability of a talented person to move money around and use money to create and to grow businesses. Well, the growing and the creation of creative minds that survive in this and thrive in this society is every bit as important as how you use capital, because it's the human capital, and that is what's reflected here. So I stand in a position, frankly, of looking up to people who are 40 years my junior, because you've accomplished something with skill and ability that I could never do if I spent my lifetime trying to reach it. My hope is that those of us in government will understand that, will appreciate it, and will incentivize it in every way we can to join the very progressive view of Regeneron, which believes that it's not just enough to make a profit, but that you have to make the whole world profit from what you've accomplished. So congratulations. Congratulations to the Regeneron team. Congratulations to those of you who are the scholars, to the parents of the scholars, and to the teachers that helped make them. We all stand in great respect for what you've accomplished.
Thank you so much, County Executive, and we know how busy you are, and it just says a lot that you came here to recognize these students and their accomplishments. So we are now going to recognize folks from each of the schools, the moment kind of we've all been waiting for, which is to meet our students. What I'm going to ask you to do is, in the interest of time, we're going to call you up by school. And can we have the students come up, science research teachers, principals as well, and we'll take a group picture here on stage, and then we'll go to the next school. Sound like a plan? And County Executive Latimer and I will stay with you and are excited to meet each of you individually. All right, so let's start with Ardsley High School. Will Alexandra Rivera from Ardsley High School please come up? A little bit about her research so we can get to know a little bit about some of these incredible projects. Alexandra studied the effect of debris particles on glacial ice mechanics, which can be a stepping stone to better understanding glacier movement. Really cool. Congratulations.
Victory. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Congratulations.
Oh, you stand on the inside.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll go on this side. We're getting situated. Congratulations again to the whole team from Ardsley High School. Just hang on to this here. Will Anna, I hope I'm saying your name right, will Anna Samsara Daffler from Briarcliff High School please come up? Anna studied the mechanisms by which a vertebrate embryo takes shape to identify how undifferentiated stem cells become the differentiated cells that turn from tissue, differentiated cells that form tissues and organs. Stem cells are such a hot area. Are you the teacher?
Hi.
Science research teacher? Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hi, Principal.
Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Thank you, guys. Congratulations again, Anna. Will the 7 STS scholars from Byram Hills High School please come up? Wow. All right, we're gonna, as you guys are coming up, we're gonna talk a little bit about your research. Samantha Ambrosisi's research shows that different transcription factors can aid neuronal development in Huntington's disease mice, which can be used therapeutically in patients. Alan Chang used computer programming to identify convincing immunosuppressive effects of mutating a tumor suppressor gene. Rachel Chernoff investigated the cell biology and behavioral differences behind ischemic preconditioning. Alessandra Colella Albino examined variability in neuropsychological tests as a predictor of cognitive decline in cancer patients. Ethan Jacobs optimized and applied environmental DNA detection methods to analyze the presence of river otters in the Northeast. Brent Perlman developed a process to produce oxygen in human cells by co-culturing human stem cells with spinach chloroplasts, which produce oxygen through photosynthesis. And Jonah Schwamms created modified muscle tissue in culture to investigate the role of stem cells in Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Wow. Byram Hills doesn't even fit on the stage. Jeez.
Very impressive. I was just in Armonk earlier today, too.
Oh.
That was cool.
Congratulations to all of you. What a wide range of research.
Well done, well done.
Are you the science research? Wow, incredible. Yeah. Great to meet you. Thank you.
Marvelous result.
Will Melissa Stoke from Croton Harmon High School in Croton-on-Hudson please come up? Melissa analyzed certain factors that could have an influence on the amount of hydrogel extruded by bioprinters to help address bioprinting accuracy. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations again, Melissa. Will Angie Yang from Edgemont High School in Scarsdale please come up? Angie found that induced GO/G1 arrest actually causes increased invasive behavior using an adapted cell cycle biosensor, a basic idea that has implication on future cancer therapies. I'm like, Is that right? GO/G1? Is that how you say it? Or not really? Okay, great.
Close enough.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. No, yeah, thank you guys for coming. I know. Thank you so much, Angie. One of the reasons that we ask the teachers in schools to come up, and one of the reasons we award funding, not just to the student scholars, but also to the schools, because we know that it does take a really broad effort by the school community to make these programs happen, although having a brilliant student is, of course, the first step and most important one. Will the 3 STS scholars from Horace Greeley High School please come up? We have Shirag Kumar, who used machine learning to more precisely measure seawater temperatures from satellites. Aditi Singh, who developed a computational model showing that visual short-term memory is an intrinsically limited human resource that may be further restricted by the brain's rational decision to accept less precision to minimize neural effort. And Anna Zhang, who trained the neural network to detect driver mobile phone use in real time to address the issue of texting and driving. Congratulations to you all.
Got a mom out there taking pictures. Very proud.
Okay, congratulations to Horace Greeley. Will the 2 STS scholars from Irvington High School please come up? Jacob Danevsky created a mobile app to decrease negative emotions and reduce suicidal ideation in senior citizens. Annie Horowitz found new species of black coral, which will add to our growing knowledge of mesophotic communities, did I get that right? And help inform policymakers that are assessing the proposed expansion of current marine boundaries. Well, you guys didn't have to travel that far, right? From Irvington? Close. Congratulations. Congratulations again to our Irvington scholars. Will Heather Scher from John Jay High School in Cross River please come up? Heather analyzed how lipid metabolism contributes to epigenetic alterations to better understand the pathway between diabetes and heart disease. Heather, do you have a teacher? No, you're all, okay, you're all on your own. We'll take credit for your achievement. How's that? Thank you. Congratulations. And we'll make sure that these photographs get sent out to all of you. Will Jyothi Ramaswamy from Lakeland Senior High School in Shrub Oak please come up? Jyothi used machine learning to classify neurons into subregions in the primary visual cortex based on their functional connectivity. Congratulations. Congratulations, Jyothi. So I have a note here that one of our students from Austining was not able to be here today, but his mom is standing in. So will Emma, John, and Elliot's mom, Deborah, from Austining High School, please join us? Emma Montgomery developed new versions of an enzyme used for genetic base editing by re-engineering the original base editing enzyme to make her 2 new, more efficient versions. Elliot develop novel techniques using computational fluid dynamics, erosion, and pressure difference minimization to improve the efficiency of vehicles by reducing their drag. I don't know if his mom had anything to do with that project, but she can let us know. And John's research aimed to elucidate the situational and environmental factors that lead to a state of hyper-focused adolescence in adolescents with ADHD in order to aid individuals in harnessing their productivity.
I can take it. Make sure you're in.
I think we're good. Oh, one more? Okay.
Might
Are
as
we
well
good?
get the picture while you're here. So I'm thinking like a dad, you know? I want the picture.
Yeah. Congratulations to the awesomeing team. Will Caitlin Wong from Pella Memorial High School please come up? Caitlin? Caitlin assessed the plasticity of pain through the lens of people with limb loss. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Pain is a really big area of research for us here, too. Congratulations to Caitlin. Will Rachel Joseph from Somers High School please come up? Rachel optimized a process called thermal hydrolysis, which pressurizes wastewater prior to treatment to maximize the production of, okay, what's this word, biogas? What's this word, biogas? Biogas. You'd think I'd be able to figure that out.
Biogas,
Well, I mean, come on, you have to say like how I'd be
Don't
confused.
worry about it.
Yeah. I'm on the
You're
communications
doing great.
side.
You're doing great. Trust me. I wouldn't do it for the money.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You'd think I'd be able to sort that out. All right, biogas. It's embarrassing, that one.
You're good.
Okay.
Good.
Right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Rachel. We have 3 STS scholars from Yorktown High School. Will you please join us? Saley Satputi analyzed 5 common definitions of sepsis to standardize the identification with the potential to lead to early detection and improved patient outcomes. Shrila Shah developed an AI, or artificial intelligence, framework for segmenting lung lobe structures in real time, which could help in oncology treatment. And Diane Yang explored how certain types of beam energy harvesters could convert existing airflow into usable electric energy. Biogas. We're gonna, yeah, there's gonna be biogas outside when you leave. All right, congratulations to the Yorktown crew. I also just want to acknowledge Reedy Bandarkar, a scholar from Walter Panis High School in Cortland, who wasn't able to be here. Reedy searched for variation in an Andean bird species to determine how its populations are related to each other and to infer its evolutionary history. Before we move on, I have one last group to recognize, and that's all the parents in the audience. Both Georges, I think, recognize the incredible importance of parents and families to the success of these students. So can we have all the parents in the room please stand up? You deserve everyone's appreciation. Thank you. It's not just what you are doing for your own students, which of course is really important, but you're really fostering a love for science that could in some ways change the world. You heard about that from George. So thank you so much on behalf of all of us. That's it for our formal program today. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you again to George Latimer, our county executive, for being here to recognize these students. And we have some refreshments available in the lobby. We hope you'll join us and stay and chat. And we hope to see some of you, we know we will, in DC when we celebrate our finalists and winners in March. Thank you.